Okay, finally. It's been, I think a few months. I'd like to think it was a few weeks, but no, it's been a few months since I last played this. I keep thinking every week, oh, I'm just gonna play like, just like one part per week. Oh, I'll catch up in no time. But like, just consistently not playing it. So, yeah, I don't know what my plan is, but I have like gotten some big games out of the way now. So I plan to at least play this like a little bit. We'll see how much. But yeah, well, heck, even if I only played it 2 hours, which my previous parts, I was looking a little bit, and my previous parts, yeah, were all around 2 hours, and coincidentally, that's how long I was planning to play it today. So I guess it's fate. But yeah, so I'm going to be around 2 hours here, and we'll see how far we get. And hopefully there will be limited amount of time that I actually have to talk, outside of the actual voice acting stuff. Ooh. Okay. For a second, everything froze for me for a second there. Also, I don't know why, but I gotta go look at how I originally had this all designed. The framing of my of what you guys are seeing, because I was like, I noticed that the image was a little off, and then I tried to fix it, and I'm like, I'll have to cut out way too much of the image if I do this. So I think I'm gonna have to actually rethink my entire layout, at the very least for Fate alone, but maybe just in general even. Just because like I have been running into more and more issues where games are the aspect ratio isn't quite what it should be. And then of course this image of me can be like manipulated however, so it's like even more like, okay, I gotta do something about this. But yeah, so we'll see how that changes in the future too. Definitely in this week, and maybe that'll also motivate me to play more. But yeah, we'll see how far we get. When I came to, I was lying in a burning field. It must have been a big fire. The familiar town was an unrecognizable smoking ruin. It looked like a scene from a war movie. The sight didn't last long, though. As morning dawned, the fires gradually died down. The towering walls of flame shrunk to embers, and most of the buildings looked to have collapsed. It felt so strange being the only unchanging thing in the town. I was the only one left, alive. I was either fortunate, or the house I'd been inside was built on the luckiest ground of all time. Either way, I was the only one alive. Since I'd survived, I felt I needed to keep on living. I walked aimlessly, thinking it would be dangerous to remain where I was. It wasn't that I wanted to avoid becoming what had happened to everyone else around me, those scorched, blackened masses. It wasn't a feeling of disgust. Some other emotion was driving me on. At the same time, I had no hope. It was a miracle I was alive at all, and I didn't think I was going to last much longer. There was just no way in hell I was going to survive. There was simply no way I would ever escape the crimson hellscape, no matter what I did. That was how desperate, how hellish this place was, even through the eyes of a young boy. And then I collapsed. Either there was no air around me, or I simply couldn't breathe anymore. I just collapsed, and all I could do was look up at the slowly clouding sky. The scorched black masses around me lay motionless. The dark clouds covered the sky, promising rain. Good, the rain will put out the fires. I took one final deep breath and looked up at the rain clouds. I couldn't breathe, but I still felt pain. I said that out loud on behalf of all those people who couldn't say those words themselves. That was 10 years ago. Miraculously, in the midst of all that, I was saved. My physical body survived, but everything else was scorched, reduced to ash. When a young child loses their parents or their home, there's really nothing left of them. And so everything other than my body perished. But as simply as possible, in exchange for my body living, my heart died. What's that mean? I don't know what that means. Like, what? My heart died? What? I'm dreaming. Oh, this music. I squinted, seeing a bright white light. It was blinding. Light stabbed at my eyes when I woke. I doubt I really knew what the sensation of blinding light was in the first place. Huh? What? As my eyes adjusted, I woke, alarmed. I was lying in a bed I didn't recognize, in a room that I didn't recognize. I was honestly stunned, but the cleanliness of the white room made me feel at ease. Where am I? I looked blankly at my surroundings. The room was spacious and the beds lined it in neat rows. All the beds were full and it looked like each bed's occupant was injured. But the room didn't feel depressing at all. Everyone injured survived. Let my eyes wander. I looked out the window. Oop. The clear blue sky was incredibly beautiful. A few days passed and I was finally able to take in the situation. I had no problem remembering what happened the days before. But I wasn't much different from a newborn during this time. Strange as it is, that was closer to the truth than might seem possible. The fire was just that bad. I was rescued from the fire. I woke in a hospital. My parents were gone and my entire body was wrapped in bandages. I didn't really understand what was going on, but I did know that I was alone. It didn't take long for me to accept my circumstances. Maybe I had no choice, really. All the other children were in the same boat. And then later, in the moment I, naive as I was, started to worry about what would become of me, he walked in. He appeared the day my bandages came off and I started eating on my own. His hair was disheveled, his suit tattered. He looked a bit younger than my doctor. He looked more like someone's older brother than someone's father.
Konnichiwa. Kimi ga Shiro-kun da ne?
Just a reminder, I am not reading the voice dialogue because they're voicing it themselves. His beaming smile seemed to blend into the pouring white sunlight. His voice was somehow irritatingly fake, yet extremely gentle.
率直に聞くけど、孤児院に預けられるのと、初めて会ったおじさんに引き取られるの、君はどっちがいいかな?
He was offering to take me in. I asked if we were related. He said we were complete strangers. He looked like an unremarkable, unreliable guy. Unreliable? I mean, he looked unreliable, even though he's literally the only person who ever talked to me in this hospital. But he looked unreliable. Like, what? But then again, he was no more or less familiar than the orphanage. So I decided I'd go with him.
そうか。よかった。なら早く身支度を済ませよう。新しい家に一日でも早く慣れなくっちゃいけないからね。
He started gathering my things hastily. Even as young as I was, I could see he wasn't any good at it. And after he made a mess packing...
おっと、大切なことを言い忘れた。うちに来る前に、一つだけ教えなくちゃいけないことがある。
He turned, asking for confirmation. He asked so casually, as if asking me if there was somewhere I wanted to go.
はじめに言っておくとね、僕は魔法使いなんだ。
He said it in a serious, almost ceremonious manner. It happened so fast. Now that I think back, I was also immature. I just accepted his words as fact. I took it neither as a joke or genuine statement. No voice acting? Really? That's so cool, Pops. I guess that I thought something like that. Eyes wide in astonishment. And I was his child. Actually, I don't really remember how that conversation went, but every now and then my old man would bring it up. He would recount that scene over and over, acting all embarrassed. That scene might have been the happiest day of my old man, a man named Kiritsugu Emiya's life. You can say that. It was one thing for him to tell a recently orphanage kid he was a magician, but I was no better, the way I was so eagerly bought into it. And that was how my old man adopted me, and how I took the last name Emiya. Shiro Emiya. When I said that name out loud, I felt really proud of having the same last name as Kiritsugu. So, do we ever learn about his real parents, though? Like, I don't know if we ever learn. I'm dreaming. It's from my childhood. It's probably about 8 years ago, since it's about the time when I talked my old man into making me his apprentice. Kiritsugu had started going away on a regular basis once I was old enough to stay home by myself. He'd always give some childish, unbelievable explanation like, I'm going to go on an adventure around the world, then he'd actually do it. From then on, that's how it always went. It wasn't unusual for him to be gone for months, and at times he didn't come home for half a year. Wow, that's a long time, sheesh. Even I don't know what he was doing during that time, sheesh. The Emiya Mansion is an expensive Japanese samurai-style house, and Kiritsugu and I were the only ones living there. It felt too big and empty for a child like me, and at times, I felt lost. But I liked my life there. Whenever Kiritsugu came home from his trips, he would brag and tell stories like an excited child, and another child, one who shared his last name, always looked forward to those stories. I may have been alone in the mansion, but Kiritsugu's stories always helped lessen that. I don't know why it says another child always looked forward to those stories. I think he means himself. He was always pursuing a dream like a boy. I was wary of his whims, yet at the same time he always looked radiant to me. Maybe that's why I hope to be like him one day. Well, as childish as I might have been, I realized I needed to get my act together since I had an old man with his head constantly in the clouds. One day, one what? one day, one. I hear a sound. The heavy rustling hinges on the door creak as it's being pushed open. Light pours in through the crack in the door. My mind tries to shake off the slumber. I hear footsteps drawing near, and I feel the winter air flowing in. Morning, Sakura.
おはようございます、先輩。先輩、朝ですよ。まだ時間はありますけど、ここで眠っていたら藤村先生に怒られます。
Okay, I guess I'm voicing Shiro Emiya from now on, I guess. He's just not voiced because he's supposed to be me, I guess? I don't know. Like, he's clearly his own person. I don't think this is a character insert. Oh yeah, thanks for waking me up, as always.
そんなことありません。先輩、いつも朝は早いですから。こんな風に起こしに来れるなんて、たまにしかありません。
I'm not sure why, but Sakura looks more cheerful than usual. I don't know about that. I think you wake me up more often than you think. Then again, Fujini is brutal when she's the one waking me up, so I prefer you do it. Yep, I've learned my lesson. I'll try not to sleep in here next time. I answer, still half asleep. My head's still not right, so even I don't know what I'm saying.
はい、わかりました。でも、頑張ってもらわない方が嬉しいです、私。
Sakura's giggling. Crap, I must still be so sleepy I've said something weird. Give me a minute to wake up. The cold air, winter air helps me at times like this. The chill snaps my lethargic mind awake. And in front of me stands my junior at school, Sakura Mato. I'm in my house's storehouse, and it's just about 6 o'clock in the morning.
先輩
Yeah, I'm awake now. Sorry, Sakura. I did it again. I need to help you with my breakfast.
そんなのいいんです。先輩、夕べも遅かったんでしょ。なら朝はゆっくりしてください。朝食の支度は私がしておきますから。
Okay, as somebody who knows what's going on, what does she think about the fact that he's practicing strengthening magecraft in his storehouse every so often when she herself is already a mage? How does that work? Like, she's like an elite mage who doesn't even really need to practice magic anymore, and he's like still a beginner at the same age as her. I wonder what the heck's going on with that. Sakura is practically bouncing with excitement. That's odd. Sakura is weirdly energetic this morning. No, I'm getting up, honest, so let's head to the kitchen together. Okay, I'm ready. Let's go, Sakura.
いえ、その先輩、
Huh? What? Is something wrong?
いえ、そういうことではないんですけど、その先輩、家に戻る前に着替えた方がいいと思います。
I thought that he did change. Okay. Oh, I finally look at myself. I fell asleep working last night, so I'm still wearing my coveralls. Coveralls I wear while I'm working are usually dirty. Who knows what Fujini would say or do if I went into the house as is. Okay. Guess I'm not quite awake yet. I must be more out of it than usual.
そうかもしれませんね。ですから朝食の支度は私に任せて、先輩はもう少しゆっくりしていてください。それにほら、ここを散らかしっぱなしにしていたら藤村先生に怒られるでしょ。
Sorry, I read it too fast. Yeah, then I'll get changed, so you go on ahead.
はい、お待ちしてますね、先輩。
Sakura quickly walks out. Okay, then. I'll change in my school uniform first. Then I need to collect all the parts I left scattered around. The storehouse is in the corner of the backyard, and all sorts of junk is crammed in here. Though I've always liked to tinker with gadgets, so the place is a treasure trove to me. The old man forbade me to go into the storehouse, but I ignored his warnings and snuck inside almost every day. Now it's sort of a base for me. I guess you could call this place my real room. The massive Emiya house never felt homey to me, but I've always felt at ease in here, surrounded by all this junk. Besides, it's wasteful. It may be junk, but a lot of it still works. The majority of the things in the storehouse are everyday things, mostly unusable. I'm not sure whether I brought it all in because I liked it in here, or whether I liked this place because it was all full of junk. Either way, I snuck into this storehouse almost daily, and I made sort of a hobby of fixing broken things. I'm not the type who gets attached to things, but it just didn't feel right to neglect things that are still usable. Or maybe it would be better to say the idea of doing that just bothered me. Which is why I stayed up all night trying to fix a broken stove. I guess I'll be done tomorrow. Falling asleep midway is proof I'm not concentrating. I try to shake off my self-disgust at that. It's weird. I would not actually say that that's true. I think he was concentrating. I mean, he's just like so focused on gathering his magic that he's kind of becomes unaware of everything around him, maybe? Or more likely, he actually just ran out of magic power and was just too exhausted to stay awake. That's what almost for sure is what happened. I gather the parts for the stove and put them back on the shelf of things waiting to get fixed. There's no more room though. Once I fix the stove, an old VCR is up next, both of which were destroyed by Fujini. We can set that aside for now. Okay then, I changed into my school uniform. Since the storehouse is like my own room, I have all the essentials, including changes of clothes in here. The rest are things like haphazardly drawn blueprints scattered all over the place and literal junk from my failed attempts at fixing various things. Also, there's some sort of pattern carved into the storehouse's floor, perhaps used as some sort of an altar in the past. I wonder what that is. Anyway, okay, gotta work hard again tomorrow. Clap my hands in prayer at the storehouse and then turn toward the mansion. I walk from the storehouse to the mansion. This Emiya residence is Japanese. Yeah, we're right now. My old man wasn't from a notable family, yet for some reason he owned this giant house. That in itself was a mystery, and it also seems he didn't have any relatives here in Japan. And so when my old man died, there was no one else to inherit this mansion, so it came to me as his adopted son. Yeah, I don't know well, it's weird. So it says that he doesn't... It says he has no relatives here in Japan, but his name is Kiritsugu Emiya, so he is Japanese, right? So, like, he says this, but, like, he doesn't know this for sure. For all he knows, Emiya does have relatives here. He just never mentioned them. Though, to be honest, I don't have any administrative abilities. So things like inheritance, property tax, and other complicated things are all handled by Old Man Fujimura. Old Man Fujimura is a major businessman who lives nearby. Kiritsugu described Old Man Fujimura as an old man who's like a Yakuza boss. Obviously that was his own biased view. He's not biased. Pretty sure that's who he is, actually. He is literally an old Yakuza boss, if Kiritsugu says this. In fact, Old Man Fujimura is not like a Yakuza boss. He is a Yakuza boss. Okay, then why are you saying it's his own biased view? Like, that may be a problem in itself, but I try not to dwell on it. Anyway, that's why I live in this giant mansion on my own. It's been 5 years since my old man died. So it was when Emiya was 11. Time sure does fly. I sigh, thinking about how much I've grown in those 5 years. I trained every day to become like Kiritsugu, but that's easier said than done. It's not surprising, since I didn't have what it takes from the start. But the fact that I haven't improved at all these past 5 years forces me to reassess things. If I had to sum up my current situation, I'd say I set the bar too high. I haven't even reached the starting line. No, rushing won't do me any good. For now, I just have to do what I can. Okay then, what I need to do now is... We're helping Sakura. Just so we see what that looks like. Right, I need to help Sakura. Making someone younger than me do all the work would be embarrassing. And I feel bad for Sakura coming here so early in the morning. But I'm too late. Breakfast looks to be done already. The appetizing scene of the breakfast Sakura cooked wafts towards me from the kitchen. Well, then that means that you're ready for dinner for breakfast anyway. Sakura finished cooking and she's searching the cupboard for dishes. Sorry, I can at least serve everything, so go and sit down. I wasn't exactly quick. It's already 10 past 6, and that's when we're usually eating breakfast, so yeah, I overslept. 10 past 6? She was here before 6 o'clock in the morning? Him waking up after 6 is too much sleep? Like, freaking sheesh. Wait a second, let me get some more tea. Clubs have nothing to do with it, and if they do, you coming by in the morning must be a lot of trouble, since you do have morning practice. Oh, that's right. Shiro used to be in the club, I just remembered, but he's not now. So he's used to getting up this early. Yeah, you keep saying that, which is why I wake up early. Club or no, if you're coming by, it'd be rude to still be asleep. To me, waking up early is waking up before Sakura gets here. And oversleeping means I make Sakura prepare breakfast on her own, like today. Though this arrangement started only about a year and a half ago. Oh, okay, a year and a half ago. Okay, so it has been going on for a while. I thought it was only six months, but okay, a year and a half ago is pretty long. You sit, Sakura. The food just needs to be plated and set on the table, so at least let me do it. Stand next to Sakura and pull out the dishes. Sakura has a surprisingly stubborn side, so she won't rest unless I really push.
私もお手伝いします。お皿には私が盛りますから、先輩はお茶碗を出してください。
No, I'm saying I'll do it all myself.
いけません。先輩はお家の主人なんですから、朝くらいはドーンと構えていてください。
Act all important? I wouldn't be much of a head of the house if I made you do all the work while I sit back, now would I? Come on, go and sit in the sitting room, Sakura.
はい、ぜひ失格してください。これ、いつも美味しいご飯を食べさせてもらっているお返しなんです。だからできれば先輩にはゆっくりしていてほしいです。
Hey, we split the cost of groceries, so you shouldn't worry about all that. In fact, I'm the one who should be thanking you. Ever since you started coming by, I've been eating a lot better.
やっぱり先輩分かってなかったんですね。先輩のお家のご飯が美味しいのはそういうことじゃないんです。
Huh? What do you mean?
いえ、なんでもありません。けど責任取ってくださいね。私、先輩の家じゃないとご飯を美味しくいただけなくなっちゃったんですから。
What? That's a weird thing to say. What if Fujini heard that? She doesn't get sarcastic jokes.
そうですね。藤村先生に聞かれたら大変です。
Right, so don't say stuff like that.
はい、言いません。言いませんからお手伝いしていいですよね、先輩。
Sakura looks me in the eyes so naturally and calmly. Fine, do what you want. If you want to so badly, I'll have you do everything.
はい、好きにします、私。
Honestly, you don't listen to anything I tell you anymore, Sakura.
ですね。藤村先生に似てきたのかもしれません。
She responds softly as she reaches towards the cupboard. Her dark hair gently falls over her shoulder, and the curves of her body catch my eye. I can't explain it, but it's awkward. I'm not sure if it's our age, but Sakura's been looking more feminine lately. How is she not always feminine? Whatever. Her casual movements or her profile are so pretty, and I inadvertently avert my eyes.
先輩、どうかしましたか?
No, it's nothing. Don't worry about it. Honestly, it's baffling. Why the hell am I getting nervous around my friend's younger sister? Sakura's just a really good and considerate younger friend of mine. She's someone I need to look after. She's the younger sister of a friend of mine. We used to be friendly, though initially we weren't very close since she's a grade below me. It was only a year and a half ago that our relationship became more what it is now. Sakura started to come and cook meals for me when I got hurt, and things kind of stayed like that. I think this arrangement was supposed to last until I got better, but I guess something or other happened and somehow she ended up helping out with household chores. Either way, Sakura's a good cook, and her cleaning and laundry skills are perfect. Having her come early in the morning is a big help, but it's been disconcerting recently. Sakura isn't the problem, it's me. I'm sure being flustered by my friend's sister is part of the reason I feel guilty. Usually I'm unfazed, but when I blush because I got caught off guard like now, I wonder whether that's problematic as her senpai. Breakfast is lined up neatly on the table. A perfectly balanced meal of chicken with parsley salad, grilled salmon, bland spinach, miso soup with radish and carrots, and grated yam soup. Chicken with parsley salad and grilled salmon? Seems like too much. Even if you have all those ingredients, still to make all of that every day seems like a lot. Sakura and I sit down and bow and begin our meal in silence. The gentle tapping of chopsticks is the only sound in the room. Sakura isn't typically talkative, and I hardly have anything to chat about during meals, so we eat in silence. Normally it's much rowdier than this, but the person who usually causes the commotion, there she is, must have watched a spy movie or something last night, because she's eyeing the two of us through a newspaper she propped up in front of her food.
藤
Sakura remarks diffidently, but Fujini ignores her. Fujini's acting weird, but her being weird at breakfast isn't really all that weird for her. Sakura's used to it too, and she's eating as if nothing's the matter. Sakura typically cooks up Western dishes. She really only began learning to cook Japanese dishes since she started coming here to help me out. Why is that? I know her family's Japanese for sure, so that's really weird. Sakura learned to cook simple Japanese dishes at least for breakfast because Fujini and I prefer them. Now Sakura's cooking skills have improved to the point she's better than me, and I'm the one who was teaching her. Her miso soup is flavorful and refined now, and she's even gotten to the point where she can grate yams to make yam soup. I was gonna say, grated yam soup seems like a lot of effort. Actually, I think today is the first time she's served yam soup. Sorry, Sakura, could you pass the soy sauce?
はい。大変です先輩。先輩のお醤油は昨日で切れてます。
Then I can use Fujini's. Pass it over.
藤村先生、いいですか？
Fujini nods. The newspaper shuffles.
はいどうぞ。とろろ汁に使うんですか？
Yeah, everyone puts soy sauce on grated yams. A line of soy sauce streams from the bottle onto the grated white mounds. Wait, yams are white? Okay, whatever. Anyway, I stir the mixture up, pour it over my rice, and take a bite. The stickiness of the grated yams combined with the intense flavor of the soy sauce. What the? This isn't soy sauce. It's oyster sauce, which is actually way tastier, but don't worry about that. Fujini tosses her newspaper onto the table with an enthusiastic flick of her wrist.
どうだ。朝のうちにソースとお醤油のラベルを取り替えておく作戦なのだ。
The not-so-mysterious spy punches the air in victory. Who pulls a stunt like that first thing in the morning? You're going to turn 25 this year, but you're still the same childish Fujini I've always known.
ふふんだ。昨日の恨み思い知ったか。 みんなと一緒になってお姉ちゃんをいじめるやつには当然の天罰ってところかしら。
People can't enact divine justice. I knew you were weirdly quiet. Can't believe you've been plotting this since yesterday. You have entirely too much free time on your hands.
そうだよ。おかげでこれから急いでテストの採点しなくちゃいけないんだから。そういうわけで急がないとやばいのだ。
Fujini sits back down and shovels her breakfast into her mouth.
はい、ごちそうさま。朝ごはん、今日も美味しかったよ、さくらちゃん。はい、お粗末様でした、先生。
Yeah, looking at them now, it feels like Sakura. Well, wait a second. I mean, it's a little hard to tell. But like, well, it seems like Fujini is skinnier than Sakura. It's a little hard to tell though, because yeah, like I think Sakura is wearing like at least 2 layers, and Fujini's like, well, I don't know though. Like the wrists just look way thinner on Fujini, and I think her face looks thinner too, even though she's 25. I don't know.
それじゃ先に行くわね。2人とも遅刻したら怒るわよ。
Are they ever late for school though? And off she goes, stomping out in a rush. There's something terribly wrong with a world that allows someone like her to be a teacher.
先輩。
Sorry that Fujini hardly savored the breakfast you took so much work into making.
いえ、そういうのではなくて、昨日藤村先生に何かしたんですか？食べ物に細工するなんて藤村先生にしてはやりすぎですから。
Well, I accidentally called her by her nickname.
それじゃあ仕方ありませんね。先輩、藤村先生に謝らなかったんでしょう。
Sorry, I forgot, but only because that kind of stuff happens all the time.
ダメですよ。藤村先生、先輩にあだ名を言われるのだけは嫌がるんですから。また泣かせちゃったんでしょう。
Not only did I make her cry, she also ran away like a scared rabbit, and thanks to that incident, yesterday's English class ended up being a study hall. In fact, everyone in class worked together to make an award for me from their notebook paper because of that. I threw it away, obviously.
もうそれじゃあ今朝のは先輩が悪いです。
Fujini is like an older sister to Sakura, so she's typically on Fujini's side, which is fine on its own, but I wish she would consider the fact that I have to deal with Fujini all day long. Fujini was originally an acquaintance of my old man, and she swung by the house pretty frequently since I was adopted. She kept on coming over even after my old man died, and now she acts like a freeloader, eating breakfast and dinner every day. Actually, it might have been thanks to Fujini that I was able to make it on my own after my old man died. And now it is me, Fujini, and Sakura who are the residents of this Emiya household. But at the same time, I'm the only one who knows that my old man was a mage. They say mages have to keep that part of their lives secret, which is why I've also been hiding from others that I'm learning magecraft after I became my old man's apprentice. Learning may be a bit of a stretch really, since I can barely use magecraft properly, so it wouldn't make much of a difference whether I hide my magecraft or not, but since it was my old man's dying wish, I've been training in secret. I finish breakfast and get ready for school. Put away the dishes with Sakura as I listen to the news on the TV in the background. Sakura is looking blankly at the TV. A flashy caption reading, "Gas leaks continue," pops up on the screen. The gas leaks begin. There seems to have been a big accident in the neighboring city of Shinto. It happened in a building in the business district. Apparently everyone on one of its floors lost consciousness from oxygen deprivation. Authorities have been calling it an accident resulting from gas leaks, but for some reason these incidents have been happening often. Are you worried about the incident, Sakura?
いえ、別に。ただ事故がシントで起きているなら近いなって。先輩、シントの方でアルバイトしていますよね。
Yeah, but the shop's not that big. I don't think an accident like that would happen there. But I can't entirely ignore the idea either. Gas leaks can happen in any building, and it especially pains me to think that hundreds of people have fallen victim. Some say that these accidents are happening because of faulty construction work done during the rapid development projects in Shinto. Either way, I hope there won't be any more victims. It's a disturbing story. We need to be careful too.
あ、それならご心配なく先輩。ガスの元栓はいつも2回チェックしてますから安心です。
Why does the image keep doing that, where it's like she's talking, the words fade away, and then it comes right back? Like, it's almost like acting like if there's a big speech, it wants to just keep showing the person without showing the words, but because it's like at that time limit, it's like, okay, it's been 3 seconds, okay, turn off the words, but then, oh, it's two or 3 seconds away from the end of the sentence, okay, bring the words back up, or something like that. Sakura proudly proclaims, "No, that's not my point." Yep, I've always known Sakura's a little off too.
Senpai, 裏手の戸締まりはしました？
I bolted it. Is that a problem?
ありません。それじゃあ鍵かけますね。先輩、今日のお帰りは何時ですか？
Why even lock the whole place when they have nothing to steal at all? Like, lock the front door and the front gate here, and that's it. Like, they literally have nothing to be stolen. like and it's Japan on top of that too. But like seriously, there's nothing to steal here. What time are you planning to be home today, Senpai? I think I'll be at home a little late. What about you, Sakura?
私はいつも通りです。多分私の方が早いと思いますから、夕食の下準備は済ませておきますね。
Yeah, that'll be great. I'll try to come home as soon as possible too. The gate is locked tight. Sakura and Fujini both have keys to the house, and the rule is that whoever leaves last is in charge of locking everything up. Let's go. You'll be late for morning practice if you don't hurry.
それじゃあ少しだけ急ぎましょうか、先輩。
Sakura and I walk into town. We walk downhill along a long stretch to reach a more populated residential area. The Emiya house is located on top of a hill, away from the center of town. Just like every other freaking story made by this author, apparently. This is becoming a little too common, isn't it? Sheesh. Heading down the hill leads us to the residential area. This is the third story in a row that they did that. Like, we can't possibly just live like a block away from school. That's crazy. Going further down, we reach the intersection at the center of town. Several roads lead out from the center of town. There's a large bridge that connects us to the neighboring town. Neighboring town? Okay. A hill that leads to Ryudo Temple. A residential area located opposite my house. A shopping district that both Sakura and I often go to. And finally, there's a path that leads to our school. This is basically every location that's going to be relevant in the game, more or less. We head straight to school without taking any detours. It's barely 7 o'clock, so there's hardly anyone around. Students making their way to their morning club activities are the only ones to be found along our route. See you later. Good luck at practice. I see Sakura off at the school gate as usual. Sakura's in the Kyudo club. Kyudo. So this is where we usually split off. And yet, Sakura doesn't budge this morning. Sakura, are you not feeling well or something?
そういうことじゃなくて、先輩、たまには道場の方に寄っていきませんか?
Well, I don't really have any business at the dojo. Besides, Issei asked me to do something, so I need to go to the student council room. I think Ryudo... Let me see. What is it called? Oh, gosh. How do I look at this? I forget how I look at the, Sorry? Oh, there it is. Okay. Wait, what did I want to look at? Oh yeah, I wanted to look at the previous thing that was being said. That's right. It was Ryudo, right? No, Kyudo. Well, anyway, it's supposed to be the archery club, but they didn't want to translate it. Like, I'm trying to think. What would a sword club be called? They call them Kendo club, which I think just means sword club. But they should just call it archery club, sword club. But for whatever reason, lots of anime still are like, no, Ryudo, Kendo. Like, what the heck, you know? It's like actually factually wrong. Well, I don't really have any business. Yeah, Nisa, at the student council. I suppose you're right. I'm sorry for bringing it up. Sakura quickly bows her head. Hmm? Sakura runs towards the dojo, seeming almost apologetic. What was that? I wonder what that was all about. She wants you to go to the club. Issei, are you in?
いるぞ。今朝は少し遅かったな、エミヤ。
Issei glances up from his desk, looking like he's been studying some papers. Is it just you, Issei? Where's the rest? They should all be at school by now.
いや、あいにくとうちのメンバーはビジネスライクでね。働く時間帯はきっかり決まっていて、早出と残業はしたくないのだそうだ。
So that's why the student council president is doing busy work himself. Guess you've got your own problems to deal with.
何好きでしている苦労だ。エミヤに同情してもらうのは筋が違う。
What are you talking about? I'm not sympathizing with you.
それはそれで無念だが、聞き流すとしよう。情が映っているということでは同じだからな。
Issei, who's gathering his papers into a single sheath, and tapping the edge against the table to square them neatly, is the big boss of the student council. He's been working to reform the student council, which has grown quite lax. He's been a friend of mine since our first year in school. His full name is Issei Ryudo, who's probably of the Ryudo Temple. Despite his old-fashioned sounding name, he has elegant facial features, and he's popular with the girls. Why would his old-fashioned name have anything to do with his appearance or popularity? What? He's also the student council president, so you'd think he would have the leg up over everyone else, but that's not exactly the case.
やはり朝は舌がしびれるほどの熱湯が良い。
It's saying stuff like that as he sips tea that prevents him from quite sticking the landing. As evidence, Issei is quite plain. He's prone to be misunderstood, yet he neither dabbles in relationships nor he does what typical students do for fun. He's the heir of Ryudo Temple, which sits atop a mountain. He himself understands that he will inherit the temple, and there's a strong possibility that he'll shave his head without so much as a complaint as soon as he graduates from school. So what do you want me to do today?
まあともかく座って一服と言いたいのだが、時間がないな。移動がてら説明をするゆえ、いつもの道具を持ってついてきてくれ。率直に言うとな、うちの学校、金のバランスが極端なんだよ。
I know, athletic clubs are favored and there's not much money to go around in other places.
結果、文化系の部員は絶えず不遇の扱いでな。今年から文化系に予算が行くよう尽力しているのだが、予算の流れが不鮮明でうまく回っていない。おかげで未だ文化系の物質は不遇でな。特に冬のストーブ不足に関しては打開策がまるでない。
Right, because schools just refuse to have building-wide heating in Japan for some reason. Yeah. I see. Hey, hand me the flathead screwdriver, the biggest one. Oh, and give me some conductors too. Yeah, this one's salvageable.
導線？これか。すまん。よくわからん。間違っていたら叱ってくれ。
It's fine, you got it right. So what the hell? What about the lack of heaters? Is there anything else that's broken?
ある。第二小学室と美術部の暖房器具が怪しいそうだ。新品購入願いの嘆願書が刻一刻と増えている。
And you're saying that there's no room in the budget? Well, this one's just corroded. Good thing the inside's still intact.
治りそうか、エミヤ。
Yeah, I can fix it. It's a good one. It's a good thing old machines are easy to figure out. The wire's just burnt out, so as long as those get replaced, this should last until the end of the year.
そうか。やるな、エミヤ。お前が頼りになると極めて嬉しいぞ。
You say some weird stuff, Issei. Oh, hey, I'm almost done, so go ahead and step out.
エミヤの邪魔はせん。
Issei quietly steps out of the classroom. You might be thinking that I'm going to start on some sensitive work. Well, I guess you can call it sensitive work. Put my hand to the old electric stove. No matter how long someone's been fixing things, they can't usually figure out what's wrong by sight. I mean, they can. That's not true. They can figure out by sight. It's just they have to figure it out by opening up the thing, and then they know by sight. So the fact that I can means what I'm doing is not ordinary. Close my eyes and look inside the stove by touch, and then suddenly a single image pops into my head. There are 2 places where the wire is about to break. The electrical pipe should last a little longer. The power cord should be fine with just insulation tape. Good, I should be able to fix it with just the tools I brought along. If the electrical pipes were broken, it wouldn't be fixable by an amateur. Had that been the case, a certain strengthening would have to be done, which no amateur could manage, but I should be able to fix this one by sight. This is the magecraft Kiritsugu taught me. Okay, let's begin. Take off the cover to begin my repairs. I already know where it's broken, so the rest of the work is easy. This is the one thing that I'm good at. That's right. I, Shiro Emiya, have absolutely no talent in magecraft. But for some reason, I have a knack for visualizing the structure of things, or blueprints, like I did just now. But that isn't talent in magecraft. That has nothing to do with being good at magecraft. But you can figure out the entire inner workings of something by touching it. I don't know, that seems like really impressive to me. That seems really strong. My old man once saw me imagine and recreate a blueprint. He looked surprised, then muttered, "What a useless talent." Oh, really? I think to fix something it's useful, but to recreate it does seem mostly useless. My special talent appears to be pointless. According to my old man, the fact that I can visualize object structures isn't really helpful. A mage normally wouldn't need to survey an object's entire structure like I do. He claims a mage's struggle is to instantly seek out an object's center, or its core, and transform it as quickly as possible. Well, I mean, he can find... I guess that's the thing, though. Like, they struggle to find the core, whereas he can figure out everything about it, but maybe he can't transform it or something. That's why reading blueprints is a waste of time, and even that only helps seek out areas for magical energy to pass through. And so fixing broken stuff is one of the only things I'm good at. After all, I don't have to open the entire thing up to find the problem. If I can find the problem quickly, I can fix most things as long as I have the know-how to repair it. Though I only do that with things with an amateur could reasonably be expected to fix. That's kind of weird to say, though, because if you know where the problem is, most things are amateur fixes. Trying to think, like, they'll obviously repair. I guess replacing parts is what he's saying. Like, okay, he can replace a part, but he can't, like, fix a part that's been, like, degraded or something. Okay, done. What's next? I put away the conductors, pick up the screwdriver and wrench, head out to the hallway. Issei, repairs are done. Oh, hey. A female student standing next to Issei in the hallway. Oh, you. I'm a little surprised. The girl talking to Issei is Rin Tosaka, second year from Class A. She lives in a giant Western-style mansion up on a big hill. Because they're all, like, it's possible. Okay, so the funny thing is that in the anime, I don't think that there are any hills. I think every time I ever saw her go to her house, it's completely flat land. Emiya, on the other hand, I think I do remember him walking up a hill sometimes, but then, I mean, obviously the entire land that Emiya lives on is on flat land, so there's quite an area of flat land at the end of the day, even though they're on a hill, technically, I guess. She's an extraordinary honor student. She's pretty smart, athletic, no flaws at all. She's intelligent and polite. She's polite? I mean, she didn't seem polite when we were looking at her earlier. And she never brags about her looks. She never brags. Do people often brag about their looks in Japan? I feel like that never happens, but okay. She's truly the ideal girl to guys, apparently. She's truly the ideal girl to guys. Apparently. So we'll just say she's truly the ideal girl, apparently. which is why the male students treat her like an idol. But Tosaka is just too good, and she's become unattainable. The guys all say the only people who can talk to Tosaka are Issei and the teachers. Well, okay, I'm also a guy, and I'm including myself in the list of her admirers. Tosaka is looking at us, annoyed. I guess rumors are true that Issei and Tosaka don't get along.
悪い。頼んだのはこっちなのに、エミヤに任せっきりにしてしまった。許せ。
Whoa, Issei is pretty gutsy talking to me and completely ignoring Tosaka like that. Don't worry about it. So what's next? There's not much time.
ああ、次は視聴覚室だ。前から調子が悪かったそうなんだが、この度ついに天寿を全うさ
Man,
れた。
everything's breaking down in this whole place. Sheesh. If it's dead, I won't be able to fix it. It might be better to buy a new one.
そうなんだが、一応見てくれると助かる。俺から見れば臨終だが、お前から見れば仮病かもしれん。
You think so? Then let me take a look. There's only about 30 minutes until homeroom starts. I'll need to hurry and fix it, or I'll run out of time. I head to the audio-visual room, but I realize completely ignoring Tosaka would be rude. Turn to face her since she's been standing there the whole time. You're here early, Tosaka? I blurt out the first thing that comes to mind and then follow Issei. Okay, so he literally doesn't think about her at all, really.
すまんなエミヤ。また苦労をかけた。頼み事をした上に遅刻させては友人失格だ。
But yeah, like okay, so I keep thinking that there's some deeper meaning, some deeper connection between Tosaka and Shiro, but no, I guess they just completely never knew each other at all. I guess. Okay. Nah, there's gotta be something deeper though. I just remembered something else. Don't sweat it. It won't be a problem if I'm late. Where it might be an issue if you were late.
もっともだ。いや、間に合ってよかった。
Issei exhales a sigh of relief and heads to his desk. It's exactly 8 o'clock. 5 minutes after the bell for homeroom rings, Fujini will enter the classroom. Woo! My breathing is labored since I ran from the audio-visual room. Take a deep breath before I take my seat.
朝から騒がしいねエミヤ。部活を辞めてから何をしてるかと思えば竜道の太鼓持ち。僕には関係ないけどさ、うちの評判を落とすようなことはしないでよね。君なんていうか節操ないからさ。
Standing in front of my desk is Shinji Mato. He's been a friend of mine since middle school. His last name is Mato, and he's Sakura's older brother. He's 1 year older than her. Yo, things at the Kyoto Club going well, Shinji?
当然だろう。部外者に話してもしょうがないけど、目立ちたがり屋が一人減ったんで平和になったんだ。次の大会だっていいところまで行くさ。
Is that so? I guess Mitsuzuri's working really hard.
はあ？何見当違いなこと言ってんの？弓道部が記録を伸ばしてるのは僕がいるからに決まってるじゃんか。エミヤさ、とっくに部外者なんだから知ったような口を叩くと恥をかくよ。
Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Besides, I'm not involved with the club, so I won't really concern myself with it much. Put my bag on my desk and pull the chair back.
何それ？僕の弓道部には興味がないってこと？
I'm not saying that, just that I'm not involved at all. I'm not a part of the club anymore, so it's not right for me to just drop into the dojo. But if there's anything you need, just let me know. I'll help whenever you need it. I remember you weren't good at fixing and stringing bows.
そう、サンキュー。何か雑用があったら声をかけるよ。ま、そんなことはないだろうけどさ。
Well, that's good. A captain who leaves busy work behind wouldn't be much of a captain. Just try not to trouble Miss Fujimura. She's terrifying if she gets mad.
余計なお世話だ。ともかくお前はもう部外者なんだから道場に近づくなよ。
Just like that, Shinji heads off to his seat, all self-important bluster as ever. Huh? He does seem moodier than usual.
ふざけたやつだ。自分からエミヤを追い出しておいて、よくもあんな口が聞ける。
Oh, Issei, were you there the whole time?
なんだとはなんだ。
Yeah, I'm sitting in my chair.
聞かして聞き耳を立てていた友人に向かって、なんと冷淡な男だお前は。
Huh? What does concern have to do with it? I haven't done anything worth worrying about.
たわけ、心配もするわ。エミヤはカッとなりやすいからな。シンジに殴りかかれば、皆は喝采を送るが、女どもからは非難の嵐だ。友人をそんな微妙な立場に置くのはよろしくない。
I get it. Yeah, good point. Thanks, Issei. I don't think that would ever happen. But I appreciate the concern.
うん。わかればよろしい。だが意外だったぞ。エミヤは怒りやすいくせに、マトウには寛大なんだな。
Yeah, but Shinshi's been like that for as long as I've known him. You get used to it.
うん。そんなものか。
It is. Now come on, go back to your desk if you're satisfied. It's almost time for Miss Fujimura to dash in.
あの方は飛んでくるというより浮いてくるという感じだかな。
Normally, the homeroom teacher comes into the classroom 5 minutes before homeroom starts, but our teacher isn't what you'd call typical. Homeroom for Class 2C typically starts 1 minute after the starting bell. In other words, homeroom starts with the sound of Fujini's shouts and hurried footsteps.
おーし間に合ったー。みんなおはうわ
Fujini tumbles, and I hear some kind of unnatural sound. Contrary to the hectic sounds of a few seconds earlier, the classroom is now dead silent. The mood shifts sharply. It's no wonder Fujini is called a human roller coaster. What the heck was that music? But honestly, the way she fell didn't seem like a laughing matter. Fujini hit her head against the podium, and she's still lying on the floor. Seeing her lying there, face down and unmoving, has everyone imagining the worst.
おい、前の席のやつ、先生起こしてやれよ。
やだよ。近づいた途端パクって食べられたら怖いもん。
ミミックじゃあるまいし、さすがに藤村でもそこまでやらねえだろ。
あんたね、そう言うなら自分で起こしてあげなさいよ。
うわ、俺パス、こういうの苦手。
私だって苦手よ。大体なんで女の子にやらせるわけ？男子やりなさいよね、男子。
The students in the front row start to get rowdy. Those of us sitting in the middle rows can't see what's going on, so we all stand up to get a look.
ちょっと先生動いてないぞ。気絶してんじゃないのか？
Someone brings up the obvious. The problem is, how would we get Fujini to the infirmary? We're all like comrades in arms after our time dealing with Fujini. Probably nobody's thrilled by the idea of taking a teacher to the infirmary.
藤村先生、大丈夫ですか？
A brave girl approaches. Fujini isn't moving. Class grows more concerned.
まずいって今の転び方。こう頭から直角に教壇に突っ込んだじゃないか。あれで無傷だったら藤村無敵っぽいって。
はあ、いっそのこと野球部にスカウトするのはどうだろう。
やめろよな、そういう脅しは。タイガーが顧問になった日には俺たち甲子園に行っちまうぞ。
藤村先生、藤村先生、ダメ、なんか反応ないよ。
おい、お前目の前なんだから起こしてやれよ。
やだよ俺。もし死んでたら殺されかねねえ。
でもだからってほっといたら後が怖いと思うし。
でも誰も近づきたくないと。
仕方ねえな。こうなったらあれしかないか。
うん、 あれだね。
Everyone's on the same page, except Shinji and I. Keep quiet because the two of us dared not be a part of what was about to happen.
せーの。
Comes out a whisper, even with so many students speaking in unison. The word tiger is especially inaudible, and yet Fujini's previously emotionless body reacts.
うわ、動いた。効き目ありだぞみんな。よし、続けろ。学校ロートンの刑じゃ。
Everyone must be on edge since midterm tests are approaching. It's a terrible idea on their part, but some students start to wave their arms and start chanting Fujini's
起
nickname.
きろタイガー、朝だぞ。
先生、起きないとタイガーです。
負けるなタイガー、立ち上がれタイガー。
よーし、起きろ先生。それでこそタイガーだぜ。
タイガー、タイガー、タイガー、タイガー。ガー。タイガーって言うな。
Like a sudden bolt of lightning striking, Fujini stands valiantly as if the fall hardly scratched her.
みんな何してるの？ダメよ、ホームルーム中に席を立っちゃう。ほらほら、始めるから座りなさい。
Fujini, back to her normal self, stands at the podium. It appears she recalled nothing between the time she jumped into the classroom and the time she woke up.
おい、タイガー覚えてないみたいだぞ。
ラッキー。朝からついてるな、俺たち。
いや、ついてるっていうのかな、こういうの。
Students shuffle back to their desks.
今誰か先生のことバカにしなかった？
え、してないっすよ。気のせいじゃないっすか。
そっか、ならよし。じゃあ今朝のホームルームを始めるからみんなおとなしく聞くように。
Fujini casually starts homeroom. She always goes on digressions between announcements, so it goes slowly.
そういうわけだからみんなも下校時刻を守るように。門限は6時だから部活の子たちも長居しちゃダメよ。
6時って言ったらすぐじゃんか。タイガ先生、それって運動系は免除されないの？
されません。それと後藤くん、先生のことは藤村先生って言わなくちゃダメなんだから、次に名前で呼んだら怒るからね。
はーい、以後注意します。
Goto sits back down. He doesn't seem particularly remorseful. Too easy. When Fujini says she gets mad, she gets mad. Doesn't matter if it's with a teacher or a student. And that is as close to a serious warning as she's ever going to give. But Goto doesn't realize it.
それじゃあ今日のホームルームはここまで。みんな3次元目の英語で会おうね。
Fujini waves and leaves. So that was Taiga Fujimura, the teacher of room 2C. Her nickname, Tiger. That might seem like a joke, but it isn't. She got the nickname because it sounds like her name, Taiga, but Fujini hates it. According to her, it doesn't sound feminine, but she got the nickname because of how she acts. So she kind of had it coming.
授業を始める。日直礼を。
As Fujini exits the room, the first period teacher enters. Because Fujini takes up almost all the homeroom time, mornings are always like this for our class. And so another day of classes ends. There are so many types of students. Some immerse themselves in club activities, some hurry home, and some hang out in the classroom after class for no particular reason. I don't really fit in any of those categories.
すまない。ちょっといいかエミヤ。今朝の続きなんだが、今日は時間あるか。
Well, it's not like I don't have any plans. It's not as if I don't do anything at all. The biggest reason I quit the Kyoto Club in the first place was that I wanted to prioritize my part-time job. It's been 5 years since I started part-time jobs to earn money for living expenses on my own after my old man died. And when you do so many different jobs, there are some requests you just can't say no to. Today is one of them. I was asked to help restock some product for a bar, since they wanted as many strong helping hands as they could get. Though I'm sure I don't have to go help. The bar is likely asking everyone as an excuse to gather some folks and hang out afterwards. There are two options. I should help the student council, go do my part-time job. Well, the point is that he stays after school either way, so I'm wondering how he goes from here to the school. Otherwise, he just stays at schools right here, right? I feel bad for Issei, but I should probably prioritize my part-time job. I never promised I would go, but since I said I'd try, I should probably keep my word. Sorry, Issei, I have plans already, so I can get a rain check on this morning's tasks. Can I get a rain check on this morning's tasks?
先約？ああ、例のアルバイトか。そうか、それは困らせたな。こちらは今日明日で進退が決まるものでもない。俺の頼みなど気にせず、労働に励んでくれ。
Thanks. I'll go get to those tasks first thing in the morning, so please let me off the hook this time.
ん？そこまで深刻な話でもないと言っただろう。急を要していたものは今朝で片付いた。残った修理品はエミヤの手が空いた時で構わんさ。
If you say so. Is it okay if I pick up where I left off whenever I don't have work?
一切ない。その時はまた頼りにするぞ、エミヤ。
Issei bids me a stiff farewell and leave the classroom. Okay then. I shouldn't dawdle. I may not have been given a specific time, but now that I've decided to go to my part-time job, I need to hurry over to the neighboring town. Jeez, I saw I was going to help out just a little, but they gave me 30,000 yen. It's like an unexpected windfall or a stroke of good luck. Copenhagen, where I work today, is like a bar and supermarket that sells liquor all in one. It takes a lot of people to restock inventory for this place. It's a job that needs at least 5 people, but the more people you have after that makes everyone's lives easier. Yet the boss is always like... I mentioned it so casually to the part-time workers and seemed to think it was enough. But I'm the only one who showed up. The only people there for inventory were me, the boss, and Neko, his daughter. All hell broke loose.
バカだね、あんた。そりゃ誰も来るわけないじゃん。
I mean, they get money. Like, you say that, but like, you get money. Neko was scolding the boss, yet I was the only fool who came ready to be sacrificed. The two of them enthusiastically applauded when I showed up, and then we all decided to organize the storage room as much as possible. And then, we somehow finished the inventory in 2 hours. Yeah, the brownie points are called money. The boss remarks as he eats a brown cake and surveys the afternoon's work. Not exactly. I'm just used to manual labor. I've been working here for long enough that I know where most things go in the storage room. I haven't been working here since I was young for nothing, you know. Something like that. You were one of the only places that hired me soon after my old man died. The boss stuffs his mouth with rum cake. Next to him, Neko's nursing a bottle of warm sake. The owner has a sweet tooth, while the daughter is the drinker of the family. They sure balance each other out. And? Yeah, he's a part-time worker. He didn't do this for fun. It's for money. He waves 3 10,000 yen bills at me. It's more than I'd get for a week's worth of labor, not 3 hours. Oh, thanks. I hesitate, but I take whatever I can get. Just as I'm about to leave Copenhagen.
ちょい待ち。エミヤ、今日の話誰から聞いた？
Neko stops me while she is curled up in front of a heater, resting. I think it was Furumi.
学生に自分の仕事を押し付けるんじゃないってのよ。あのバカ。まあそれはいいとして。何？ じゃあ今日の棚卸しまた聞きだったのに来たんだ。
Well, I was told to help it if I wasn't busy.
フルミもバカだけどエミヤンもおバカさん。まあいいけど、君さ、人の頼みを断ったことないでしょう。前に私と父が風邪で寝込んだ時も店番してくれたし。
Huh? That's not true. I won't do things for people when I know I can. I only do things I know I'm able
う
to.
ん、あん時君も風邪ひいてたんだけどね。まあいいけど、私が何を言いたいかっていうとですね、エミヤンはいいやつでちょっとバカで、そのあたり私は心配なので、今度藤村にちょっとは顔出せやこらと伝えておいてほしいのです。
Uh-huh. Neko makes circles with her fingers in the air as she downs her sake. She seems to think I'm a dragonfly or something. Okay, so just tell Fujini that.
そう。じゃあね。あんまし頑張りすぎんなよ、少年。
Whoa, I've already crossed the bridge. I managed to walk back from the neighboring Shinto to Miyama without realizing. I walked through the still darkened town. It's about 7:30. There should still be people out and about at this hour, but there are no signs of anyone around. Oh right, there was a crime committed in Miyama the other day. A burglar murdered someone, I think. Must be why there's no one around, and why the school curfew has been set to 6 o'clock. Gas leaks and burglars. Seems like it's getting dangerous around here. No wonder people are avoiding walking around at night. It's probably not safe to let Sakura go home on her own either. Fujini might be fine, but Sakura's house is in the residential area on the other side of the town. Guess I should walk her home starting tonight. Huh? Can't quite believe what I'm seeing. I must be wrong. I sense a presence on the uphill pass I was sure was empty. Whoever it is, they're standing still and look to be peering down at me. I unconsciously hold my breath. A girl with silvery hair smiles and walks down the path without making a sound. And as she passes by...
早く呼び出さないと死んじゃうよ、お兄ちゃん。
What she says makes no sense. I climb up the hill and reach my house. The lights are already on, which means Sakura and Fujini are home. The moment I step into the living room, I smell the delicious aroma of dinner. Sakura and Fujini are both eating at the table. Tonight's meal is chicken stewed in cream sauce, and it's put Fujini in an especially good mood.
おかえりなさい、先輩。お先に失礼していますね。
Thanks, and sorry for being late. I should have come home earlier.
いいです。ちゃんと間に合いましたから。ちょっと待っててくださいね。すぐ用意しますから。
Okay, thanks. I'll go wash up. So keep an eye on Fujini to make sure she doesn't eat my portion.
はい、きちんと見張っています。
I go to my room. It's a sparse room compared to the storehouse, but it's still decorated enough, considering I don't have any particular hobbies. Though some of them are random things Fujini just left here. After I wash my hands and change, I head back to see my food on the table. Thanks for the meal.
はい、お口に合えばいいんですけど。
Sakura's humble as ever. Sakura's cooking skills have vastly improved over the past year. My cooking is yeah, we already know. Neither of us is any good at making Chinese dishes. I'm glad to know she's improving, but it's also a little depressing when the pupil surpasses her master. It really is delicious. The longer you cook chicken, the tougher the meat gets. Which is why you need to take the extra step of grilling the chicken to a crisp to seal in its juices and flavor. This requires exceptional skill, and it's something the clumsy Fujini would never be able to manage.
どうでしょうか先輩。今日のはうまくいったと思うんですけど。
No complaints here. The cream sauce is perfect. My cooking can't hold a candle to your Western dishes.
さくらちゃんがご飯作ってくれるようになってからお肉関係が美味しくなった。
Fujini, who's been concentrating on her meal until now, pipes up.
ダメよシロ。学生がこんな洋服に帰ってきちゃいけないんだから。
She looks to be in good spirits thanks to Sakura's meal, but the moment she sees my face, her mood turns sour.
もうまた誰かの手伝いをしてたんでしょう。それはそれでいいことだけど、こんな時ぐらいは早く帰ってきなさい。最近物騒だぞってホームルームで言ったじゃない。あれ、シロに対して言ったんだからね。
You really don't need to make a homeroom announcement for something you can just tell me at home.
ここで言っても聞かないもの。学校でガツンと言った方がシロには効果的なんだもん。
先生、それは職権乱用というか公私混同だと思います。
それぐらいしないとシロはダメなのよ。いつも人の手伝いばっかりして損してるからさ。たまにはまっすぐ帰ってきてのんびりしててもいいじゃない、バカチン。
Huh? Who are you calling an idiot? What's wrong with helping people? I'm not losing out on anything as long as someone benefits from my help.
キリツグさんに似たのかな。シロがそんなんじゃお姉ちゃん心配だよ。
Seeing Fujini eating so heartily makes me wonder what exactly she's worried about.
藤村先生、今の話からすると先輩って昔からそうなんですか？
昔からそうなの。なんか困ってる人がいたら自分から手を出しちゃうタイプ。けどおせっかいってわけじゃなくて、シロはね、単におませさんなのだ。
Fujini grins menacingly. Fujini, I'm going to get mad if you say anything you shouldn't. And you shouldn't ask such silly questions, Sakura. I glare at the two. Fujini clicks her tongue
藤村先
in disapproval,
生、お話
but
を続けてください。
Sakura presses on like an attentive student.
じゃあ話しちゃおう。これがね、シロは困った人を放っておけない性格なのよ。弱きを助け強きをくじくってやつ。子供の頃の作文なんてね、僕の夢は正義の味方になることですだったんだから。
Quit bringing up the past, Fujini. I can't really jump in though, because it's true. Besides, becoming a hero of justice is still my goal.
わあ、すごい言葉だったんですね、先輩。
すごかったよ。年上の男の子にいじめられてる女の子がいたら助けに入ってくれたし、キリツグさんが武将だったから家事だって一生懸命こなしてたし。あの頃は可愛くて純真だったのに、それがどうしてこんなひねくれた子になっちゃったんだろうな。
That's on you, Fujini. That's what happens with children when they have bad role models, and if you want to say something to that, try making an entire meal all on your own. Fujini is shocked. I thought she would just lower her head and repent, but
お姉ちゃんは悲しいよ。さくらちゃん、おかわり。
she holds out her rice bowl, asking for a third helping of dinner. We relax after dinner, and it's almost 9 o'clock. Well, what should I do? There's still some time before my evening training. I guess I'll hang out with Fujini. Rest, walk Sakura. Huh. I wonder what the difference on these are. I haven't thanked Sakura for cooking dinner yet, so I should talk to Sakura. It's getting late, so I should walk her home. Sakura just finished cleaning up and she's in the living room getting ready to go home.
あれ先輩、お風呂に入ってたんじゃないんですか？
I'll take my bath later after I walk you home.
送るって私をですか？
Yeah, it's been dangerous at night lately, so I'll walk you home. Your house is a pretty long walk, so let me at least do this since you go out of your way to come here. Sakura purses her lips awkwardly. Did I say something wrong?
ごめんなさい。気持ちは嬉しいんですけど、先輩は休んでいてください。家までだったら慣れてますし、一人でも大丈夫ですから。
Maybe so, but it really hasn't been safe recently. I'll walk you home at night for a while.
でも、兄さんに見つかると、先輩にまで迷惑がかかります。
I forgot. Sakura's older brother Shinji doesn't really like Sakura coming over to my place. He can't say much because Sakura says she goes to Fujini's house, but me taking her home might cause problems. I don't care if Shinji accuses me of something I didn't actually do, but I don't want him taking it out on Sakura. But it wouldn't be a problem if I only walked you halfway, right? There's no way we'll see Shinji at the intersection. Sakura's uncomfortably silent. Knowing Sakura, she probably wouldn't even lie about the fact that I walked her home. Hey now, how about...
私が送っていこっか?
An English teacher wearing tiger stripes suddenly pokes her head through the door. That really doesn't fix anything. My concern is that girls walking alone at night. So, what? My concern is a girl walking alone at night. So adding another girl would be... Wait a minute. Calling Fujini a girl may be a bit of a misnomer. There is a reason Fujini is the teacher in charge of the Kyudo Club. She is trained by old man Fujimura in Kendo. And her 5th rank designation makes her deadly, literally and figuratively. I guess it wouldn't be a problem if you went, Fujini. I bet you could beat the crap out of any pervert who might try to strike.
できるよ。だからさくらちゃんを送っていくのも問題なし。それでいい？さくらちゃん。
はい、藤村先生がよろしいのでしたら。
決まりだね。それじゃあ行こっか。私も今日はそろそろ帰ろうかなって思ってたんだ。
Fujini takes Sakura's hand and starts to leave. Oh, hold on a minute, Sakura.
何ですか、先輩。
Dinner was good. Thank you.
はい、ご迷惑でなかったら次も頑張りますね、先輩。
Sakura beams and leaves the room. I can tell my cheeks are burning red. Honestly, Sakura takes me by surprise a lot lately. It's perplexing. Time sure flies. Not so long ago, she was just my friend's little sister. Now I find sometimes I can't quite look away from her. I'm so pathetic. I've always thought of Sakura as being like family, but I can't seem to readily accept this change. And that is how my day ends. Just before midnight, Shiro Emiya must perform the daily routine of utilizing magecraft. I cross my legs, take my position, and regulate my breathing. I try to empty my mind. Ignore everything around me and turn my focus inward. Trace on. I mutter the familiar incantation, as if putting myself in a spell. No, this is a kind of hypnosis. There's no mage crests, no magical knowledge. The incantation I mutter is really just a way to focus myself and change my body. Typically, humans do not have any lines which allow magical energy to pass through their body. To temporarily change my body to create a pseudo version of the lines, I need enough concentration to unify my entire physical and nervous system. Magecraft is a battle with yourself. For example, I insert a burning steel rod into my backbone. The steel rod itself is the one and only magic circuit I can prepare for myself. By passing this deep within my body and connecting it to my other nerves, I can finally be a mage. This is not a metaphor. And if you look closely, a series of metal rods which cannot normally be seen or touched pierce my backbone. I'm a magician. Kiritsugu Emiya was a mage. He was a true mage who disciplined himself in a wide variety of mystics, plumbed the deeper secrets of the world and its workings, and even performed miracles. And as a young child, I admired Kiritsugu and begged him to teach me magecraft. But you can't just become a mage. You have to be born with talent and inherit a tremendous amount of knowledge. I obviously never had that inborn talent, and Kiritsugu never imparted any knowledge about magecraft to me. I was told it wasn't necessary for me, something like that. I still don't understand what he meant by that. But it didn't matter to me as a child. I always thought learning magecraft would bring me that much closer to being like Kiritsugu. I was blessed neither with talent, that is, an abundance of magical circuits within me, nor with generations of magecraft knowledge handed down to me. The magecraft Kiritsugu possessed, the magic crest passed down from the Emiya family, can only be passed on to a blood relative. Oh, I wasn't aware of this one. Really? Is that really typical? I thought maybe you could actually steal family crests. But yeah, maybe not, I guess. A mage crest, which is proof one is a mage, rejects any not blooded relatives. As an adopted son, I could not receive the Emiya family's crest. Well, then this is even more confusing based on a little bit of knowledge I have about one of the other families. That's confusing. That doesn't make any sense. Then again, since I honestly don't have any idea what the hell Magic Crest even is, it doesn't matter much whether I have one or not. It's just a matter of gaining the ability. If I want to be a mage, I just have to learn Magecraft that suits the traits that I do have. Magecraft is, taken to its extreme, a skill supposedly meant to release magical energy. You could say that magical energy is a life force. Magical energy is separated into two sources: mana, which comes from the world's atmosphere, and odd, which is created within living creatures. Obviously, mana, which comes from the world itself, is superior to odd. The sheer power of the world's mana is simply not even comparable to the odd one human can create. No matter the form it takes, Magecraft utilizing mana will always surpass anything created from an individual's odd. So a powerful mage is one who excels at drawing magical energy from the world. It's a lot like a filtration system. A mage will use their own body's circuits to draw in mana from outside and convert it into something usable. Mages call the circuits they use to accomplish this magic circuits. This is the inborn talent part. The number of magic circuits one has is determined at the moment of birth. That is a really good way to describe that, though, since it's a filtration system. The more magic lines you have in your body, the more magic power you can filtrate, and like the faster you can do it too. But that said, I mean, it's like about efficiency, but that doesn't mean that your actual power is a stronger or more destructive type of magecraft. So it's a little weird. Like the type of magic you have is more important. Like, you know, you can have 100 magecraft lines, but if your power is to grow trees, is that really better than firing 100 bullets, but I have half the amount of magic circuits as you know? Typically, humans have hardly any magic circuits. They're normally quite rare. That's why mages will spend generations trying to ensure their descendants have a body more suitable for magic. Some families even go as far as to practice selective breeding in order to increase the number of magic circuits in their children. And since I was raised in a normal family, I never had a chance of having much in the way of magic circuits. That left me only one option. According to Kiritsugu, everyone is well suited to one specific form of magecraft. That's why I'm like confused about, like, okay, so a person is specifically better at doing certain magecraft than other magecraft, but also you get your crest handed down from your parents. So if that's the case, then is a bloodline thing just more likely to be compatible with family members, or is it a personality thing within a family or something? I don't know. He also said something about drawing out magical energy based on the person's origin. Yeah, the origin, but I never quite understood that part. Like, maybe each family has an origin that is like, this bloodline is better at doing this type of magecraft type of thing, maybe. What I do understand is that even someone like me can use at least one form of magecraft. If I can do that, then maybe I can be like Kiritsugu. That's why I've only learned this one magecraft. That was 8 years ago. After a lot of thought, Kiritsugu took me on as his disciple, though he never seemed happy about it.
いいかいシロ、魔術を習うということは常識からかけ離れるということだ。死ぬ時は死に、殺す時は殺す。僕たちの本質は生ではなく死だからね。魔術とは自らを滅ぼす道に他ならない。
I guess I knew no fear as a child. Kiritsugu smiled bitterly, placing a hand atop my head as I nodded enthusiastically.
君に教えるのはそういった争いを呼ぶ類のものだ。だから人前で使ってはいけないし、難しいものだから鍛錬を怠ってもいけない。でもまあそれは破ったって構わない。一番大事なことはね、魔術は自分のためじゃなくて他人のためだけに使うということだよ。そうすればシローは魔術使いではあるけど魔術師ではなくなるからね。
I guess Kiritsugu didn't want me to be a mage, but I didn't care about that. I admired Kiritsugu, not mages. As long as I can be the sort of person who lives to help others, like Kiritsugu on that day of fire and nightmare. I got distracted. I feel the uncomfortable sensation of the iron rod in my backbone moving where it shouldn't. So wait, so he's aware that Kiritsugu did save him from the fire, seemingly? Because I'm confused. Like the story at this point, I thought that they only just said you were wandering around in the fire, and then you kind of fell unconscious. You woke up in the hospital. Then he just randomly said, "Hey, do you want to go to an orphanage, or do you want to come with me?" And that's all. That's all we know about him so far. So it's a little weird that it's kind of being portrayed as him knowing that Kiritsugu did save him. Like, I didn't think that they had actually addressed that part of the story. Oh, good. Losing control by breezing now would be fatal. The pseudo magic crest would overwhelm my body and shred it to pieces. And that would be the end of me. Shiro Emiya would simply be a novice who died because he failed at an elementary step. I grit my teeth and try to recover my connection. After pain like walking through the storm of needles, the iron rod finally sinks deep within my body and fuses with me. I've been working on this for a little over an hour, and after all that time, I'm finally able to create one pseudo circuit. A circuit capable of creating magical energy using my own self. Basic structure, analyze. All that's left is to allow the magical energy to flow naturally. Shiro Emiya is no mage. He is just a user of magecraft who can only create magical energy within his body and channel it into objects. That's why I can only do one thing with this magecraft, which is composition, analyze, enhancing objects. It's just strengthening magecraft where I apprehend an object's structure and channel magical energy to temporarily reinforce its abilities. Basic structure, alter. Hold a broken iron pipe. Pass magical energy through it to execute the most basic magecraft, to enhance its durability. Passing magical energy into something other than yourself is like mixing poison. My blood is a far cry from the blood of an iron pipe. Forcing an entirely different sort of blood through an object may as well destroy it rather than enhance it. To prevent that from happening, I need to properly understand an object's structure and pass magical energy into it between the small vacant spaces. Composition, reinforce. This may be easy for a skilled mage, but since I have a hard time generating magical energy in the first place, even a task like this is as difficult as shooting an arrow and hitting a target several hundred meters from you. A typical archery target is 28 meters away, so it goes without saying how hard it would be to hit a target at 10 times that distance. Oh. My body temperature suddenly plummets. The fiery pillar passes through my backbone, disappears, and my lungs seize in desperate need of oxygen. My back arches in an effort to keep me from passing out. Damn, I failed again. The iron pipe is unchanged. The magical energy I passed into it appears to have dispersed. Damn, adding to something that already has a set form is hard. What I'm attempting to do is like adding an extra brushwork to a completed work of art. Adding something extra to a completed object raises the risk of compromising the object's integrity. The paintbrush hoping to improve may actually devalue the work instead, which is why despite its simplicity, strengthening magecraft is so difficult, and not many mages willingly use it. And it's not that I chose this, but it's really all I could do. It would be much easier if I could make something from shapeless clay, but a substitute that just recreates its form is all show and no substance, which explains all the junk around. Whenever I fail at strengthening magecraft, I try to make substitute objects to practice and calm down on, but they all end up empty. I can visualize the structure of an object easily, and I can recreate something very similar, but it's hollow, and obviously doesn't function at all. I wipe the sweat off my brow, realize I'm absolutely dripping with sweat. If this is as bad as I got, I should consider myself lucky. But what happened earlier was really bad. Had I taken even a second longer to recover, my internal organs would probably be mush about now. If only pushing myself to the brink of death helped me improve, there'd be some hope here. But nothing comes that easily. At the same time, fear of death will stand in the way of improving my magecraft. Learning Magecraft means courting death at every turn. Every rudimentary, everyday Magecraft can spin wildly out of control from a single mistake, ending the caster's life.
魔術師にとって一番初めの覚悟とは死を容認することだ。
Hiratsugu always looked sad whenever he brought that up. Maybe it was his way of saying that he didn't want me getting into any of this. Saving one person means not saving someone else. Being a hero of justice means you need to be an extremely egocentric person. That was always his line. Hiratsugu always said that whenever I mentioned wanting to be like him. I still don't know what he meant by that. All I'm certain of is that I want to save people, to be a hero of justice, like Hiratsugu Emiya. But I can't even manage the basics. I'm such an idiot for letting myself get distracted at the most crucial moment. It's not enough for me to just grasp at the object's structure visually. A skilled mage would be able to focus on the crucial areas and efficiently channel magical energy. My dream is to become a hero of justice. I remember what Fujini mentioned at dinner. I never really thought of that goal as embarrassing or impossible. That Shiro Emiya will succeed Hiratsugu Emiya has already been decided. That's why I've been doing everything I can despite how sorely I lack in experience. I don't know exactly what it means to be a hero of justice, but because I don't know, I've trained myself to the best of my abilities in hopes I'll be useful to somebody. I haven't taken my eye off that goal these past 5 years, but whenever things go wrong like this, I start to have doubts. I just don't get it, old man. What the hell do I have to do to be a hero of justice? I look up at the sky through a window. It's not just about being good for someone out of the blue. Saving someone and being a hero of justice are two different things. I know that, but what do I have to do to differentiate them? I've yet to understand that crucial concept for the past 5 years. Okay, well, I was contemplating continuing, but I don't want to stop right in the middle of the second day, especially since it's going to be a 2 1 day 2. Anyway, I don't want to stop in the middle of the second day, so I'm going to just stop here. As usual, 2 hours is a very good point to stop at. I do plan to do longer streams in the future. I am getting some deja vu to Tsukihime, in which I would do 4-hour streams occasionally, and some of those 4-hour streams would be 1 day and some of them would be 2 days, so I assume that it's going to be that type of thing again. But it's a little weird because, like, I think that the days in Fate Stay Night are shorter than in Tsukihime, or at least in the Tsukihime remake, because I think there's only 7 days in Fate Stay Night, which seems hard to believe. So maybe I'm wrong, but I think there's only 7 days here, whereas in Tsukihime there's 14, and in Witch on the Holy Night it was a little more complicated, but there were 7 to 10 days in there, I believe, something like that. But yeah, so I'll continue my current strategy, I suppose, but yeah, I do plan to maybe do some 4-hour streams in the near future. It's hard to say though, because I do want to play my other game, and then there are, I noticed, 2 gacha game story streams I'm going to be doing later this week too. So, but at least we finally got some progress done here. So, see you next time.
Are there a bunch of little girls in this one too? Hello, girls! Ah! Oh no! Ah!